At 3:17 in the morning, a night officer inside the old Changi compound heard something moving down the corridor. Not footsteps, not running, a slow dragging sound, like exhausted men pulling their feet across concrete. When he turned the corner, the passage was empty, but the smell remained. Sweat, wet cloth, and something like old medicine. Changi Prison was built before the war, but its name became something heavier after 1942. To many Allied prisoners, Changi was not one building. It was a whole area of barracks, fences, work parties, disease, hunger, and waiting. Men arrived here after Singapore fell. Some stayed, some were sent away. Some never returned. Former staff described a strange pattern near the old barracks. Sounds came from empty rooms, coughing, whispered counting, a tin cup rolling across the floor. But when the doors were opened, nothing was there. Only dust, and sometimes narrow marks on the floor, as if bare feet had shuffled through the damp. Work parties were sent out across Singapore. Some repaired damaged infrastructure. Others worked near airfields, roads, and military sites. Survivors later wrote of exhaustion that made the body feel separate from the mind. Men learned to recognize each other by gait, not face. A limp, a cough, a way of carrying hunger. One account describes a guard seeing 6 men move through a locked internal gate. They were thin, heads lowered, uniforms hanging loose from their shoulders. He said they did not look at him. They did not speak. They simply passed through the bars, as if still following an order given 80 years ago. The most repeated detail is not what people saw. It is what they smelled. Antiseptic, fever sweat, wet canvas. Witnesses said the air changed before the figures appeared. The temperature dropped, then came the sound of labored breathing from beds that had been empty for decades. In Changi, faith became a way to measure time. Men prayed for food, for letters, for the end of war, for the names of friends not to be forgotten. Some modern visitors claimed they heard low voices inside empty rooms, not singing exactly, more like a group trying to remember the words. The strongest reports describe a line of men in the yard. They appear before sunrise, standing shoulder to shoulder, thin, silent, their clothes hang like sacks. Then, one by one, they begin to shuffle forward. Witnesses said the line always moves toward the same direction toward the old exit routes used for labor parties. A retired caretaker once described seeing 3 figures near a service road. At first, he thought they were reenactors or trespassers. Then he noticed their feet. They were moving, but barely lifting from the ground. The men looked starved, sunken, and gray. When a vehicle passed, its headlights went through them. But there is one detail investigators could never settle. Several sightings happened in places where the modern layout no longer matched wartime memory. A corridor where no corridor should be. A doorway that had been sealed. A line of prisoners walking into a wall that, on older maps, once opened toward the barracks. In the final report, the witness said the line moved as usual, but one prisoner stopped. He turned his head slowly, as if hearing his name. His face was not angry. It was tired. The witness said he opened his mouth, but no sound came out. Then the corridor lights failed. Maybe Changi is not haunted by revenge. Maybe it is haunted by repetition. Men still leaving for work. Still returning hungry. Still waiting for a roll call that ended in 1945. And every few years, someone hears the boots again, dragging through the dark.